Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Caliber Home Loans. At Caliber Wholesale, our products make us different, and our people make us great. Caliber Home Loans Incorporated is an industry product leader with a full offering of core conventional and government products, coupled with our innovative non-agency portfolio lending products. Contact us to learn more.
Welcome to another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway, and this is created exclusively for Mortgage News Networks, brought to you by our good friends at Caliber Home Loans. So we did get the Fed results last week. They didn't move rates, and it really was interesting, almost like a circus. 3 Fed dissenters, Janet Yellen confused at the press conference, saying things like, well, we want to keep rates low so that when inflation, so because we don't have enough inflation, but this way when inflation comes, we can hike rates, just not even making sense. And giving some really silly reasons for why there's dissension. Did not look like a woman who was showing good leadership here. So the Fed doesn't know what they want to do. Remember that none of these Fed members has even so much as ever run a lemonade stand. They have no clue in the business world. That's why they've been abysmal in their forecasting. Heck, in their most recent forecast, there's one Fed member who thinks that we're going to hike rates 3 times before the end of this year. Just nuts. But here's one thing that we did learn, is that of 17 members who did forecast through the end of the year, 14 of the 17 are forecasting at least one rate hike. So will we get one? I think so. It's kind of like their MO to kind of get a rate hike in before the end of the year, just like they did last year, so they could say, hey, we did it. Now, if that's the case, what does this mean for us? It's counterintuitive, but mortgage rates declined during this time. And what we have to pay attention to this week is a couple of important things. One is there is a saloon full of Fed speakers talking this week, so we'll pay close attention to that, as well as Friday's PCE number, personal consumption expenditure. We've talked about this. We like the CPI, Consumer Price Index, as a better inflation gauge, but the Fed likes the PCE better. Friday, let's see what it comes out at. 1.6 was the last read year-over-year core inflation. If it starts to tick up, what's the Fed's excuse going to be? Now, there's a Fed meeting in November. I don't think it'll happen. There's no press conference. There's no forecasting, even though the forecasting is a waste. But the December meeting, we could see a Fed rate hike, and that wouldn't be a bad thing. And let's take a look at some history to give you some evidence. So past Fed rate hikes, let's go back and compare the 10-year Treasury yield to where the Fed funds rate was. If we go back to 2004, the previous rate hiking cycle, yeah, I know it's a long time ago, but Fed hadn't raised rates for a long time. Fed funds rate was at 1, 10-year Treasury 4.73. Fed hikes 4 times in the 6-month span, bringing the Fed funds rate up 1% more to 2% total. The 10-year Treasury goes down by 0.5%. And then the 10-year Treasury drops again, even though the Fed hikes another 1% in 6 more months, bringing the Fed funds rate up to 3. This is from a 1% to 2%, then 3%. 10-year Treasury down again, all the way down to 4% from 4.73. Now, eventually, it does flip-flop, and we do see interest rates eventually rise. Heck, the Fed funds rate got above the 10-year Treasury yield. So over time, this could happen, but initially, we do see a nice drop in yields. Now, most recently, Fed hiked last year. What happened? When the Fed hiked last year on December 16th, we did see some noise up and down, but then a big drop. 10-year Treasury yield dropping from 2.28 to 1.54%. Call it 0.75% drop pretty much in yield. That's a big decline in interest rates. Do we get the same thing again? I'm not sure. But certainly, we have to consider the fact that if we do get a Fed rate hike in December, it may provide an opportunity for us. Prep your clients, prep your realtors, because it could happen. I think we probably will get a rate hike, and I think that mortgage rates will decline. Now, follow this action carefully every day on MBS Highway. Get a free trial. If you already used your free trial, sign up. It is very inexpensive compared to the money you will make. Hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Your reputation with your referring business partners depends largely on the lenders you recommend. This is why you'll want to choose a partner who shares your commitment to customer service. At Caliber Home Loans, our products make us different and our people make us great. I'm a leading product innovator. In addition to our core conventional, government, and jumbo loans, we've created our own non-agency portfolio lending products. These enable you to assist creditworthy clients who can demonstrate the ability to repay. To learn more, visit us online at caliberwholesale.com.
This is Mortgage News Network.